Buenas tardes, bien tardes, gentes. Aquí estamos con Disco Elysium. Antes de nada, avisar. Ya me he quedado traspuesto. Hoy he tenido un día regular, ¿vale? Y estoy un poco cansado físicamente. Sé que es un juego de mucho texto, pero tenía muchísimas ganas de empezármelo. Así que, como es bastante poco natural, vamos a empezarnos este juego a las 8 de la tarde. Cosa que no es muy normal, ya que nosotros los streaming los hacemos por la tarde temprano, pero es que hoy me he encontrado muy mal. Así que nada, vamos a empezar a ver qué tal. Seleccionar arquetipo. ¿Qué es un mod? Motricidad. Hmm. A ti mismo y a otro. Capacidad de razonar. Pues... Se le ocurren todo tipo de ideas y datos interesantes. Muy receptivo, de personalidad magnética pero inestable. Podría llegar a perder la cabeza. No sé si podríamos desbalancear esto porque yo el personaje que me haría realmente con que es Constitución. El tipo de personaje que yo me haría probablemente sería una mezcla entre intelectual y emocional. Sería emocional 5, intelectual 4. O sea, inteligencia 4 y psique 5. Entonces, vamos a ver si nos deja hacer algo así. Y ponerle un puntito quizás en motricidad o... En motricidad o constitución. Vamos a personalizar a ver qué nos deja hacer. Que por cierto, no nos explica qué son estos pluses que hay debajo. Vamos a... Refleja tu capacidad para razonar. Vale. Sí, sería maestro. Vale, pues creo que yo lo que haría sería algo así. Y dejaría... eh, quizás 4-4-2-2. 4-4-2-2. 4-4-1-3. Creo que como podemos luego ir mejorando un poco más el personaje, vamos a dejar así. En constitución, en el sentido reflejan tu agilidad. Agilidad bien, constitución, una mierda. Vamos a intentar hacer un personaje que sea como yo, claramente. Muy listo y muy simpático. No. No, pero a mí me gusta siempre apostar por intelecto y dotes de habla y esta clase de cosas. Entonces, estas dos para mí son las principales y las otras dos son completamente secundarias. No sé si pondría 2-2 o 1-2. Creo que lo vamos a dejar en 4-4-1-3, ¿vale? Bueno, excelente, pésimo y flojo. Vale, sí. Así. Me la quedo. Ahora podemos elegir una habilidad. Habilidades principales. Hombres y mujeres. Sé el titiritero. Te comprenda a los demás. Ponga a trabajar tus neuronas espejo. Actividad, mundo interior, corazonadas, instinto y ensoñaciones. Contrólate, mantén tu moral por las nubes. Creo que me quedaría con empatía. Vamos a trabajar tus neuronas espejo. Ya que esta es la que tenemos más desarrollada, ¿no? Pues algo, quizás enciclopedia. Recurre a todo el conocimiento, relata hechos fascinantes. Creo que me voy a quedar con empatía. Porque en diálogo entiendo que va a ser... Va a ser bastante clave. Sugestión, hechiza a hombres y mujeres, ser titiritero, podría estar muy bien. Pero me parece como demasiado... Demasiado mágico, demasiado... Hechicería, demasiado... No sé, no termina de convencer. Vamos a establecer empatía. Habilidad elegida obtendrá una ventaja de +1. Además, el límite de aprendizaje para cada habilidad de la misma rama aumentará en 1. O sea que podremos tener más... Vale, confirmar. Las furias habitan en el espejo, en su morada, pues hasta el agua más clara, si es lo bastante profunda, puede ahogar. R.S. Thomas. ¿Tengo que darle?
There is nothing, only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore.
Cerebro reptiliano primitivo.
Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby.
¿Nunca jamás de los jamases?
An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. You got it, sweet brother. Nothing upon nothing upon nothing. Coming right up, sir. Smooth passage.
Alonso.
All right. Nothing town to fuck all borough.
De vuelta el silencio, por favor. Visítenos el islote 0. Mira, ahí están. Estoy harto de ser esta clase de animal. ¿Y a quién cojones le importa?
Not you. Your days of giving a shit and being that type of animal are over. The song of death is sweet and endless. But what is this? Somewhere in the sore, bloated man meet around you.
Me gusta.
A sensation.
Vale, sigue cantando. Cántame la tonada de la muerte.
Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
Ah, mira, puedo subir para arriba para ver el resto de... Me acabo de dar cuenta de que aquí tapo un poco mucho, ¿no? Vamos a utilizar esta cámara y vamos a ponerla aquí quizás.
You can take it. You're a champion.
Ok. Voluntad. Normal versus tu total de 11. Vale. Normal, éxito. Puedes soportarlo. Eres un campeón. Madre, ayúdame. Tengo una cabeza pegada al cuello y estoy en ella. No quiero saber nada más de esa sensación. Llévame de vuelta al vacío. Informe incorpóreo. No tengo miedo.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache.
Tenso, ¿y qué clase de criatura le haría algo así a su propia boca?
A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
Somehow, you know what it is. A Caprice Canema motor carriage.
Enciclopedia. 10 de 10. Normal, es sí. Por algún motivo sabes lo que es un carruaje motorizado Caprice 500. Abrir los ojos. Qué desagradable, ¿no? Quiero aflojar el volumen. Gracias. Vale, aquí molesto también. Entonces voy a tener que ponerme... aquí. Aquí. Coger los pantalones. Coger la camiseta.
This fan
He
has
pulsado
two
tanto
chain
para
pull
desbloquear.
switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world.
Tener responsabilidad para lo que es la vida. Qué curioso es este juego, ¿no? Sabois para coger la corbata. Accionar el
The
ventilador, ¿no?
blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap.
Esperaba.
It's released from the blade. Warning, warning, the necktie is no longer
Claro.
contained.
La balanza hacia atrás va la corbata. Toma ya. La corbata ha sido liberada.
What you have in your hand is a
fumada de
fantastically
juego, ¿no?
colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose. If it's your friend, why was it up there? Who ties their friend to a ceiling fan? Maybe this thing is dangerous somehow. An ominous, foreboding feeling fills you as you look at the tie. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole in your brain. The lights are off.
Puta fumada, tú. Hostia.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare cup. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium key ring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door. A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
Fácil. 8 contra 12. Tu total, superada.
Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it.
¿Qué pasa?
Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin. Bet you are. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly tiny nose either. Not with all the drinks it's absorbed for you. It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers.
Tengo
Don't
miedo,
be
quiero
scared.
parar.
It's only your face. It's not like anyone's going to see it. Behold.
Bueno, es normalito.
You have no idea who this thing is, do you?
Dios me asista, ¿pero qué es esto? ¿Pero qué? ¿Pero esto qué es? Vas a terminar.
Too late. You clearly
El
have rigor
puto.
mortis on your face. Oh, wait. Is that an expression?
Rigor mortis.
Are
Oh,
you trying to
espera.
make an expression with that face? Why?
Que no la estoy poniendo. La cara se está poniendo
Please
sola.
stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. Oh my God. You can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
Se supone que ha de ser sugerente. Mucho me temo que esta es mi cara de Don Juan.
Please promise yourself you are not going to try it on any of the ladies, whatever happens. That's right.
Nadie me dice lo que tengo que
Not even
hacer.
yourself.
Eso
Go
es,
ahead,
ni
try
siquiera tú
something.
mismo.
It's not an order.
Más 5 de experiencia. Sí. Enciclopedia formidable, 13. Pero no, sí tengo muy poco. Pifia. Éxito crítico. Esto es una tirada de habilidad básica. Si falla, puedes reintentarlo. Muy baja. Electroquímica 2. Eso sería ahondar en lo más profundo de tu mente para rastrear la fuente de la expresión. Dejar el espejo por ahora. Bueno, vamos a hacer esta, ¿no?
Like the rest of you, it
Ahí
comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now. It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your
Parte de tu
primary
corteza
motor
motora primaria.
cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to cease producing it.
Formidable versus tu total 9. Bueno, pone que es repetible. Mejora tu electroquímica para reintentar esta tirada. Mejora la enciclopedia para reintentar esta tirada. Vale, dejar el espejo por ahora. Carita. El espejo está
The
aquí.
window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Visión espacial, evaluar el daño.
The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. Like the green shoe that's on the hat rack in the corner, which, coincidentally, is missing its friend. Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you can still find the other on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room. You mean
Bueno, fui yo.
someone else took your shoe off and smashed the window with it? This person also forced the drinks on you. A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold.
Una 5 de experiencia ganada. ¿Qué es esto? Esto es lo que tengo ahora mismo, no entiendo. Equipado. Inteligencia, psique, no sé qué, no sé cuánto. Herramientas, ropa, objetos, interactuar. Vale, ahora mismo no hay nada que podamos. Llave de la habitación número 1. Tareas, encuentra tu otro zapato. Vale. De acuerdo. Y una botella. Mi pregunta es, ¿esta puerta dónde da? Es que esto... No, esto no lo puedo abrir. Speak with yourself. Vale, me he encontrado un zapato. El que tenemos puesto. Por aquí no parece que podamos hacer nada más. Aparentemente, así que vamos a abrir la puerta. Hostia, pero... Va a ser casi mejor...
The fan stands still. The switch must be broken because nothing happens. The switch must the switch mu- the switch mu- the switch 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 mu-
Digo, lo mismo en algún momento se raya y me dice otra cosa. Pero no. Decía que en el balcón estaba mi... Pero no me deja salir.
Hello, officer.
Marzo del año 51.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
No.
Parece desconcertada por la pregunta.
There's only one solution to this.
Es más
You're a
decir-
businessman.
Because you're a police officer, sir.
¿Por qué es usted? Ah, vale.
I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
Sugestión. Si fallan no puedes volver a intentarlo. Igualada. Sugestión 4. 42 es muy poco.
Could it be because of the drinking?
Cenar con la ceja. Muchos cigarrillos arden rojo vivo.
Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
A glib remark. Don't let it stand. Assert yourself.
Afírmate.
A fondness for contradictory statements.
Of course.
She remains unconvinced.
Don't be so
A glib remark. Don't.
A fondness for contradictory statements.
extraordinary.
She doesn't actually think it's all that extraordinary.
Don't be so
A glib remark.
A fondness for
I'm sorry. I was being glib. I'm sure you're a great cop. Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
She looks back at you, a light glinting.
Goodbye.
Curioso. Adiós. Una rica colilla en el cenicero, todavía está humeando. Pues fúmatela, ¿no? Si está rica. Rompe limón. Vuelve la mesa. Consigo dinero. ¿Por qué no? Total, era gratis. Vamos por mis zapatos. Y zapatos. Espérate, ¿qué?
There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet. Like two baby crocodiles. It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are. Good, they're balanced.
Moral recuperada
Comfy.
0.
Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Y claro, moral recuperada porque, claro, no puedo recuperar si tengo ya el tope, ¿no? Entiendo. Completamente moral.
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. Somewhere inside, a tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you.
Estoy haciendo cosas sin necesidad de ti.
The door is mute and indifferent. Your despair is a joke to it. Still no answer. Still nothing. Still. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside.
Vale, pues nada, ¿no? O sea... ¿Qué es esto? Ah. Bajando. Me paso el día bajando. Vamos, 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 vamos.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Of course, at this point, precise measurements of your soul can only be performed from the outside. It's through a PA system, by other people. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry. Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though. You have not yet... No. Don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. Sing you have to find something tragic.
Me encanta que yo diga, bueno, algo alegre. Y mi propia mente diga, no, algo alegre no, algo triste. Me gusta mucho. Toro.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives... That was disdain in his eyes. Even now he's purposely ignoring you. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. This is the Great Skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola, the part of the world you are in right now. Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager. Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Yes, you are. A real decorate. What did you not do? First you took the body down, then you solved the murder, then you didn't trash my hostel room. Maybe you even negotiated the strike. Oh, it's not? You're right. It's not.
He has no respect for you personally, but this man sees himself as a law-abiding citizen, and you a representative of that law. He tries to avoid outright.
Respeto que no me respete, pero... Respeto que no me respete, pero si tiene suficiente respeto como para no cagarse en mis muertos, pues mira. Bueno.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting. Hello, sweet.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Sweet Lord, a whole hour. And you haven't thought about rum and lemonade in all that time? You've truly extinguished all trace of yourself. Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade into yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that. What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your boring normal get your drink on and your act together.
Espérate, ¿qué ponía ahí? Pégate un lingotazo. Se saca te está matando. Tienes que mantener la raya. Encuentra una botella de alcohol, ponla en tu mano, equipara en una mano izquierda o derecha en tu inventario y deja que fluya la magia. Todo esto te va dando experiencia. Foto guardada. Un hombre duerme sobre la mesa. Lleva unas botas cubiertas de barro por encima del mono. En la parte posterior de su camiseta hay un logotipo de un árbol que rodea las palabras White Pines.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This
Quince de
item is
tutorial.
stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
Lo tengo todo, ¿no? En plan, lo tengo cargado al tope. Ahora con mi
A
amigo.
bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he narrows his eyes, and if an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this, but why?
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize. Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to go.
It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
Sí, está un poquito liadillo.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area, now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Okay,
Bueno.
we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Sure, but did you take it down from the tree? So, the body is...
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice.
where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take... I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens Militia on your sleeve and on your back. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside.
Inspectorate General means internal affairs. What he's saying is he's not from the rat squad and isn't supposed to suspect such things.
Yes, but I'm not them. I'm from criminal investigation. Yes. They're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Revachol West. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage, but again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job. You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible, but getting the body down should still take precedence. We all feel that way sometimes. There is no such thing as a police officer, I'm afraid. What remains is that there is a dead body in the tree. Someone has to figure out who put it.
And then, soon after, dead bodies would be dangling from all the tree. A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket has folded up his newspaper.
After you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
Yes? What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. To find him or her is one of our tasks here. For now, all we know is that the tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in the...
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. Is that enough of a secret for you?
Is this a strike then? Or the first shots in a workers' coup?
Está de suerte porque estamos en medio de una gran huelga del sindicato de trabajadores portuarios. Puede que más que eso. Claramente el sindicato busca sacar tajada. Es que esto no lo ha dicho en voz alta. Tajada no solo del puerto industrial, sino de la propia corporación de White Pines en sí misma. Esto es una huelga a los primeros tiros de un golpe de estado
After
obrero.
decades unchallenged, the lieutenant is caught off guard by your brazen provocation. But his counter comes fast and hard. This could get ugly.
Espero que el caso en sí sea menos desafiante que navegar por estas cuestiones comunitarias. Este barrio no está acostumbrado a la presencia de la MCR y el sindicato rara vez juega mal sus cartas, como parece ser el caso. Entonces,
Strike, coup, revolution. It's brigandage, however you parse it.
You feel something rising through you, a familiar feeling, an opinion taking form.
When I said we have to navigate community matters, I did not mean we have any say in them. I meant we should be careful. If we are not, the shit will blow right in our faces.
From an imaginary fan.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. Better still than an imbecilic cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Good.
No response. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal...
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire life.
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted? Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
You could
A mí me
use
gusta.
a good, normal pair yourself.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolary state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're barking at the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholière.
He's glad to have shut down your question.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you.
La ceja está ejerciendo control psiónico sobre ti. Fíjate, no puedes hacer nada.
The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic. But this isn't an old school case.
So what? That makes you the new school? God spare us. For real detective work, nothing beats a good notebook by your side.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook, and that's where his conversations with himself take place. We all have our different mediums.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. The eyebrow is exercising.
Something the matter, detective?
This guy's got authority off the charts. With just the flick of his eyebrow, he's able to make you his thrall. Nothing. You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. There's a lot of it. If the lieutenant were an evil man, who knows what sort of havoc he could wreak. Fortunately, he is a committed officer of the RCM. He'll only use his powers for the good of the investigation. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Good. Let's... Excuse me? Detective, if I may be frank, you seem to be in a deranged state. You have trouble remembering things. You've misplaced your badge. I cannot let you act.
Oh, so you're an unaccountable wreck who has to be supervised? You don't have to take this display of authority. You can disobey.
That's good. Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
Aquí hay un montón de cosas para hacer. Vamos a hacerlo en el orden que he hecho aquí. Va.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
Geraldo de la Ruina. Es que me gusta muchísimo. Ajá, como un incendio forestal, pero huele a licor. Todavía estoy barajando algunos nombres.
Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No. I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt in your having this.
She went away because none of your business.
Have they not been telling you you're a cop?
Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number. That's why Sylvie went away. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching. Forget it. I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him. Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through.
Does he want you to feel guilty of making that hole? It's implied in his voice.
Let's go.
30 de experiencia de interrogatorio referente. Completado. Experiencia obtenida.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
No one is saying the multi-pattern necktie you found tied to the ceiling fan can talk. No one. It must be merely imagination. But...
Let's bail! Time to push the eject button! Sounds like a responsibility! You don't like those!
No, don't listen to him. It's madness. Just talk.
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right. Money. You owe this establishment 130 real.
Who does that clown think he is? Arrest him! No one is saying that! No one is saying that Ty can talk! That would be ludicrous! It's just that you should arrest him! It would be wiser! He wants to take your money!
The lieutenant looks at you tugging on your garish tie.
If you don't have the money, it's okay. None of us are in this for the wages.
That's cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really. For survival, to pay me. Unless you want to become a hobo. Do you want to become a hobo? There's nowhere else to stay in Martinez, and it's a cold spring outside. Money doesn't make you happy, but it lets you be unhappy for a while longer. If you run out of money, you die. It's like that for all of us. Me too. That's why I need you to pay me. I'm not an asshole. Are you serious? From your work? I don't know. You can take bribes, I guess. I'm sorry. I don't think cops can take bribes.
Some do take recompense, but only to survive.
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange. The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching.
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is
Otra vez me lo ha repetido todo.
No, I know.
No, I...
Do you have her?
As a matter of...
You said you...
What? Of...
But you still...
Yes, I...
I
¿Por
didn't
qué me lo ha
imply
repetido
that.
todo?
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt in your having this.
Let's go.
Not so...
No one is...
Let's bail!
No, don't listen to him. It's madness. Just talk.
Oh.
The IIR or Inter-Isol.
No, you don't owe me
Who does that clown think he is? Arrest him!
Let's see. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30... I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't.
Officer, maybe you are better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
You mean somewhere else to run up a huge debt? I don't think so. The union squeezed most places out of business to fund the strike. You're better off...
Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them, ask for assistance. We have to get this investigated.
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. You don't really know, do you? South, maybe, doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
¿Cómo? Ventajas temporales de la investigación más una enciclopedia. El regreso de la memoria factual. Rebobinemos, reconstruyamos tus VO2 pasos de vuelta a casa. Salta del puente levadizo del canal del suroeste de aquí. Cáete, levántate, sal del asfalto. Unos 20 minutos arrastra. Podríamos hacer eso ahora después.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dim. But dear, you're not for me. I'm too old and too married besides.
In another time and place, she might have flirted back, but that ship sailed long ago.
You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the cure.
Yes, dear.
A paraplegic is someone with...
No, dear. I'm not quite that old, although I was injured in the line of duty. Nothing so glamorous, dear. Though when I was young, I dreamt of planting the Revacholian flag on some figurative peak. I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail-order shoe company. You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere, and, well, once I happened to be under some faulty scaffolding. I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. No problem.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
She won't judge you, no matter what you say.
You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located? We're in the city of Revachol, dear. How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
Yo tenía.
There. The year is 51, and spring has
Ah,
only
mierda.
just started.
The lieutenant studies you. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant. How can it be that bad? Never mind. We're in this now.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Nope, sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control, under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is
Dios.
market-driven.
Meaning, buying is voting.
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone. A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago. It has something to do with everything. I really don't...
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things? And how can I help you?
You didn't do too well, dear.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
She means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good.
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person. Whatever do you mean? Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already have a partner.
A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree.
It seems to me that you lucked out with your part. Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe you and every other sad, lost person on this earth. Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear.
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but I could give you this to pawn, just to tide you over.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas-relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom reads, San Baptiste, Summer 31, Dinghy Races.
Oh, it's not an ancient family heirloom or anything, but I suppose I hope you were able to pawn that old trinket. Oh, thank you, dear. I confess I am glad to see it again.
Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events.
Now, what else, sweetie? Of course, dear.
Of course, dear. Objetos. Aquí estaría el pin, pero ya no. Realidad. Vale, el tropicio me va a luchar aquí la vida, tú. Vamos a descolgar un cadáver, ¿no? Y esas cosas.
Yes?
Vamos al coche de este señor. Este es el coche.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery, bearing the number
Es el que me ha despertado.
57. Vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. The
Efectivamente.
Caprice Kinema motor carriage. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Translation. We're not going anywhere right now. Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some...
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work.
Cortapernos de mango de goma, coger la linterna de carga manual, empujar la caja de herramientas.
It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Police lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap. The pull-out toolbox slides back into it. The frequency tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The radio switchboard. The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your... 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-9, over. Ten-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. Is it him? What does he want? Says he lost his badge and needs to report it. He what? He lost his badge? Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
Dick Mullen. Vale.
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately, they're laughing at you.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost...
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun too.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? No. It's gone. It's not fucking on you.
Don't sweat it, Bratan. You don't need a gun to have fun. We can...
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Lying?
Oh,
over the
menos
phone?
mal.
It's easy. Just say it like it's the truth. And...
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine the poor prick who has to relay that cat. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it, and fast. We can't have some gangbanger running around with it.
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance? Over.
Es que si no lo decimos y alguien la dispara, nos metemos en un lío.
10-4, I know I already wrote it in a report, but it will stay on my desk for a few days. Over. Okay, 10-4.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be smart about it.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question. That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12. Visitors present here. Over.
You probably don't want to continue on this road.
Come again, sir. I didn't get that. 10-9. Over. 10-4. Well, that's...
Does he actually want something, or is he hell-bent on disrupt?
He asked if he ever told me about his days before joining the RCN.
For God's sake, cut this shit out!
Sir, satellite office. So, was there anything else?
What? What is it?
He wants to verify him.
But of course, it says Dick Mullen, High General of the Revolution. Tell him to stop wasting time.
What do you need, sir? Over.
Joder.
Understood, sir. Over. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority.
What does he want now?
He's asking for money.
Is he fucking?
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
Alright, that's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's important to the case.
He isn't getting a red cent.
Request denied, sir. Over. Anything else, sir? Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered around Communication Officer Jules Oldboy Pidier. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minot enters. Her left arm is in bandages, and her hair trimmed short.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He's lost his badge and his sidearm. He seemed confused, delirious even.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, alright. Sounded fucking drunk to me.
Yeah, Mac's right. This was some gnarly shit there. I mean, before...
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is. He's a cop. He's one of us, goddamn this.
We must help him.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on carrot juice?
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words. This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain. Or anyone else.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our laughs. Now get back to work.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005-194.
Received.
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment.
Just wait. Relax.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello?
Yes, hello.
La femenina te saluda a través de la estática. Suena como si tuviera un millón, como si estuviera a 1 millón de kilómetros de aquí.
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again.
No, not me.
No, not me.
No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast. Got it.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Yeah, go on. You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Why not?
Maybe I don't... You mean, why...
Why not?
Why not?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your... I already said I don't want to talk about this. You mean, why did I leave the bar?
Why not?
You know whom?
You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her word. Don't be paranoid. She's...
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about this, okay? Maybe, I don't know. Yes, I know who you are. You're a police...
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there.
Oh, no.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and... You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that. I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there. Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after.
Me neither. No, please, no more suicide.
There are way more inventive ways than a gun to leave this world. There is silence on the other end of the line.
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big butts cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can... It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform.
Somewhere in a dank rental apartment,
Perdona,
two
lo
police
mismo...
officers stand in the dark. Trash and liquor bottles cover the floor. Things are not good. One of the men, trying not to slip on old newspapers, makes his way to the window and pulls the curtains apart. God damn. Officer Michelle Elfboy Williams speaks to himself. His partner, Sundance Fisher, looks at the patrol uniform he's wearing, then at an identical suit frame on the wall. It's blue and covered in dust. Let's get the fuck out of there. He turns to Williams.
I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
No, she doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy. Like
Fallida, si ponía 97%.
You know women and their constant problems. Yak, yak, nag, nag. How's one supposed to get the love going like that?
Sí, tenía
That's where
97%.
you step in. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl out. What misogyny? I'm just telling things the way they are. Can't a man be honest in his own head anymore? You have to act, Lieutenant Love. You have to calm that hysteric down. Tell it you've got everything under control. Then go and have a little boys' talk with God. Think you can do that, Lieutenant Love? You're just a gimp. What? You want to be more empathetic?
Call was terminated by the other party. Anything else, officer? Just a... Sylvie? Yes. Hello? Oh, great.
You hear the call.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? It will take just a moment.
Her voices fade out.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Oh, it's you.
Was that a snarl or a suppressed groan? No love for you here.
Yes, there's no end to the misfortunes fate has seen fit to rain upon me. Who? You are? You lost your human visage a while back. Now let's get on with it. I've got more important things to do. And you survived it. Congratulations. Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't worry about that. Officers your age have carny trouble all the time. Oh.
Accept it. The body is an object, and objects break down. Do what good you can with yours, before the rest.
With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not...
There is no surprise in his voice, only careless superiority.
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life now. Use it wisely.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you, or doesn't care.
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside? You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. Our station is not a retirement home. We don't have the funds to deal. And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyanoacrylate.
It's not fucking cryoacrylate. It's super glue, Doc.
Cyanoacrylate is...
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Es mucho la misión de... Innecesario, ¿no? Pero me gusta. ¿Y qué tenemos por aquí? Puedo subir de nivel algo. A ver si subirme las que están más bajas o qué, ya que estas están muy altas. Esta, que es la que tengo más alta, hago una tirada de 97% y me sale fallida, tío. Es que tócate los huevos. Sugestión. Va. ¿Cómo confirmo? Ah, ya está subido.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his... You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar.
Intentar alejarte.
Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from it.
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. There is Frit nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. If they don't, there's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Pretty clever.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear? Maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. 1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 42. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, 3. Hobnailed work boot, 4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46? You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. The cold must... 5. Another standard work boot, steel reinforced. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace. Same make of boot, impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped. You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it, in a strange, beautiful way. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. 8. And yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
He regrets it the moment he says it.
I don't know why I said that. We are not looking for a drummer. We are looking for a group of dock workers.
Claramente.
The lieutenant clearly appreciates the chance to clear up the drummer issue himself.
Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
He doesn't seem to hear you, looking south toward the traffic jam instead.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? Mm-hmm. 200? Could it be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up?
Claro.
Let's say
Claro.
a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows.
Maybe there was a physically impressive strongman in their midst. Someone who wanted to impress their peers.
Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between two men. 200.
He might be right. 200 kilograms.
Possibly.
But why?
Yes.
Maybe there was a physically impressive strongman in their midst. Someone who wanted to impress.
You mean a display of athletic ability meant to belittle the victim? A local champion carrying the intruder alone? I can see it. Anyway, a woman or a kid? Okay. How do
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
Understood. Anything else? A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have...
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up. Isn't it strange to have your assumptions confirmed like this? This is what someone whispering suggestions in your ear would like you to feel. The lieutenant's eyes narrow. He's thinking, doubt perhaps. It would be unprofessional of him to be sure of himself at such an early stage of the investigation.
Either way. What else?
He might be right. 200 kilograms.
Possibly.
But why?
Yes.
Maybe there was a physically impressive strongman.
You have a point there. Anyway, it's something to consider. What?
No, está guardado. Esto tenía guardado, vale. Vamos a parar por aquí, ¿vale? Vamos a parar por aquí. Me quedaría bastante más rato, pero... Comentario de su nombre adulto. Vamos a dejarlo por aquí. Sé que llevamos apenas 2 horitas. Y la verdad es que me quedaría más, pero... Vamos a revisar primero esto. De precio. Pero he de irme, que es tarde, son ya casi las 10. Así que no sé si volveré más tarde o no. La verdad es que tengo ganas, pero no lo sé. Y nada, el juego la verdad es que me ha absorbido por completo, ¿eh? Me parece que hacía tiempo que no me pasaba. Vamos a ver si se mantiene durante todo el juego, ¿no? Así que nada, gente, me despido, lo dicho. Espero que os haya gustado, que os hayáis entretenido y hayáis pasado un rato agradable. Hasta luego.